Hey, we're live. Are we live?
Yep. On air.
Hey, what's up, Garrett?
What up, Mike?
What up, man?
Long time no see. I missed you.
You were in Venice.
I was.
Venice.
Italia.
Italia. Did you eat some good pizza?
No, I had some really good pasta. Believe it or not, one of the best hamburgers I've ever had right there on the Grand Canal.
Hamburgers.
It was, and then the drinks were phenomenal.
Really?
Great bars.
You look a little chubby.
And you know what? I'm proud of it. It was worth every bite. Every bite. So I'm very excited to get back down to fighting weight.
Oh, yummy. Anyway, cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Little toast. Want to welcome our guest, Derek Miller. Is that who I'm talking to today?
Yes.
Derek Miller.
That's my government name.
It's the name that you go by. We're drinking some whiskey. Welcome, audience.
What are we having, Mike?
I don't know. Some bourbon.
Brown.
It tastes good. How about that?
Okay.
I don't want to give all my secrets away. No, I think we're drinking the barrel.
But for those who want to be like Mike,
Yes, we are drinking the barrel bourbon cast strength 033 batch. Don't have my glasses on, but it's 116.6 proof and delicious. If anyone's like
Quite
to
smooth.
taste them, very smooth. A little hot, a little burn. It's tasty. Anyway, Derek Miller, what's up, buddy?
Nothing much.
Met you at Crunch Fitness, and you were in the sauna, and we just were shooting the shit, and like I do basically everywhere. I go,
Everywhere.
start talking shit. Well, relationships. The reason I have you on this podcast today is because I want to talk about relationships and how important relationships are, and how the world, I feel, is not grooming relationships. And what I mean by that is grooming. What is a grooming? Grooming is nurturing, planting seeds, growing. And if you want to grow as an individual, you got to go and basically talk to many different people and a diverse amount of people. And you need to learn from every person that you come in contact with. And so there are things today that interested me about you. You work out, you're regimented, you're married,
Yes.
and you just got back from Jamaica. You're a nurse,
Yes.
and you have goals, and you're ambitious,
Yes.
and you're driven, and you're a secret little badass.
If that's what you want to call it. I would like to think so.
So what it is a lot of people that I come in contact with over years and years are afraid to put themselves out there, to talk to people. And, you know, you're in a sauna, it's a stale environment, everybody's on their phones, and everybody's just kind of looking at each other, making sure no one's going to fart. And if they do, they're like, who the fuck just farted? Whew. And you were going to do 7 minutes, but now it's 5. You ever had that situation?
yes, I have.
You have?
Not a fan. 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
Exactly.
That's how I felt today in the sauna. It was just weird tension. It was 3 other guys. Everybody was on their phone. And I was
Yeah.
like, let me be different and just meditate and pray and
Yeah.
focus on what I need to do for the rest of the day. So
I'm the asshole while walking. What's up, fellas? What are we doing? What's everybody playing on their phone? Is everybody trading Bitcoin today? What's that? Yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
a lunatic. I walk in there and they're like, I have the one fan, and then the 4 other ones leave.
that's how I felt that day. You came through with the fun fact, and I was like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
He's the type of guy that starts a conversation wherever. But I mean, that's how relationships start.
Yeah, and I'm glad to have you on today. We exchanged numbers, and we met, and you were looking for, you know, improving your life. And what I mean by that is you were wanting to take another step up in the level of work that you do,
For sure.
which is important. And that's what I gravitate to. And I'm motivated to assist motivated people. Who wants to help unmotivated people? You got to meet you halfway a little bit. You got to show some initiative, show some motivation, show some want. And when you show some want, it's like, motivates me. I'm like, hell yeah, I got this dude. He's like texting me. Now I feel important. I'm like, shit, I got one more new contact in my phone. And, you know, you've heard me say this many times, Garrett. Like, I want to delete a contact out of my phone every day so I can make room for a new contact.
Yep.
And not that I have to delete a contact. It's just the saying in your mind, delete the old in with the new. So if you want to get a new relationship started, every single day, I don't care where you are, find someone that is unique, different than you, someone you can learn from, and put their contact in your phone and text them and just make room for that new person in your life, right? How did you feel when you first met me?
I felt like you were somebody who was very inspirational and, motivation. I gathered a lot of motivation from just us talking in that sauna that day, and I realized that you were very successful. In order to be successful, you have to surround yourself with successful people. So I wanted to add you to my circle for, the benefit of having the relationship and us being able to learn from each other, because you can learn from anybody, whether it's a little toddler or whether somebody's 80 years old. Everybody has a different perspective that you don't have.
I learned from a 4-year-old how to give good hugs.
That's important.
Just don't let go.
That's important. Yeah.
I was hugging a little kid. I can't remember. Oh, who was it? It was Ron Prisby's little boy. He came over the land. He was out there with Mac, his grandson, and the kid just gave me a hug, and he wouldn't let go. And I was like, okay, like, And I'm like, all right. Well, when I give hugs now, I'm not letting go. Like I'm gonna give good hugs, because it was memorable, but it was genuine.
It wasn't like he was trying to strangle you. It wasn't like he was trying to like just put you in you're bigger than a 4-year-old, so it's not like he was trying to put you in a chokehold or anything like that. It was fun. It was an embrace.
It was awesome. It was a good, loving feeling, and that's the memory that I have. It's like this little kid was loving on me. I'm like, I love it. Anyway, so we're going to talk today about your journey. How old are you?
28.
28. Where are you from?
New York originally, upstate New York, but I've been here for most of my life, so I kind of claim both.
Okay. You went to college?
I did go to college.
Where'd you go to school?
William Peace University. You probably never heard of it.
No. Where's that?
It's in Raleigh. It used to be an all-girls school. They turned it into a co-ed school in 2020.
All-girls school.
Yeah.
And then during COVID.
Coincidentally, no. Derek, when did you start going to college?
I started it was actually 2019.
What's that? Sorry, there was a vibration.
Yeah. 2019, I graduated in 2020.
I have a deep voice. It's not that deep, Mike.
Ooh, you sound awesome.
It was the Maserati starting up.
Oh, got it. No problem. So 2020 is when you started college?
Well, 2019. I graduated in 2020.
2020.
So it kind of all feels like the same year. There's so much happened between those 2 years.
What kind of university is it?
It's just a regular private university. It's a small school in downtown Raleigh.
What were you going there for?
Nursing. Bachelor's in nursing.
Nursing. All right.
Yes.
I got to ask. I'm in college. I'm sorry, high school. You play sports?
I did, like intramural sports.
But in high school?
In high school, it was intramural.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm in high school. Yeah, Mom, going to be a nurse. Like, where did this come in your head?
So my parents were in the healthcare field. That's how they met. Actually, they met in New York City. My dad was a surgeon. He was a resident. He had just finished medical school, moved from Jamaica to New York, and then my mom was a nurse. So it was a classic doctor-nurse
So your dad's a
relationship. Oh, for sure.
Love to hear
He won't
about
admit it. He won't say it in those words. but
anybody
yeah.
that can cut people open and just sit there like they're playing the piano is mesmerizing to me. So how did you know your dad was a cool dude? When did you finally figure that out?
Well, I figured that out from all the stories I heard from him at work, and then just growing up in Jamaica. Growing up in America, you can't fathom living in another country, but it's literally like a whole different world outside of America.
Does he still have a Jamaican accent?
I did when I was younger. I lived there for 2 years, actually.
You did?
I did, yeah. I had a Jamaican accent. I wish my parents had recorded it so I could hear it, but
Yo, Rastaman.
I can still do one. Wagwan.
What is it called?
Everything Irie, man.
That's cool as shit.
That's what they say whenever, they ask you how you doing.
Yeah.
You say everything Irie.
Everything I read.
Everything Irie, man.
That's cool as shit.
I hear it so much, so
I love it.
Still have it in the
That's super
back
cool.
pocket.
I watched the Bob Marley movie that came out recently.
I saw it.
Beautiful movie.
It was a great movie.
Yeah, I thought it was very inspirational. It gave me a new insight on I didn't know what really was going on. We just heard, Bob Marley. And so when you hear the story of how he wrote the music, what was going on in the country at the time, it opened my eyes a little bit more.
Yeah, he was a revolutionary, basically.
Yeah.
There's a lot of political aspects to his music.
What do you like about Jamaica?
Everything. The people, the food, the weather. it's just it's a different experience from America. People are grateful for what they have, and they don't spend half their life chasing after material things because they realize family and just, enjoying nature is what really matters.
Is that what's wrong in our country?
For sure.
How do we get that back?
We have to get people going back to church, and I guess just the belief in God and having faith in God. I think that's the biggest thing.
You said family. What's the most important thing about family to you?
The most important thing about family would be just having someone to talk to and confide in. Not saying you can confide in all your family members, but it's important.
Is it safety and security, or is it someone to talk to? Because to me, if someone was to ask me that question, I would say that having family gives me safety and security that I'm not alone.
That's the bigger aspect, safety and security, for sure.
So I'm sitting there going, I'm safe because I'm not alone.
Exactly.
Even when they're not present, just to be able to know, now that we have, communication as an instant, to be able to reach out to a family member and say, hey, thought about you for some reason and this came up, and for them to respond back, that is a huge bonus. And that just helps keep a lot of people grounded, that some people don't even have that.
Well, it's like endorphins. We live for adrenaline. We live for endorphins. And they were having a study. Someone, I don't know who it was, but they did a study online, and I was reading it, where the endorphin level of getting likes and shares and things like that on social media is the equivalent of a heroin
Yes.
injection.
Yep.
I agree.
You do.
For sure.
So is that what's changing in the world, that we are, these kids, when I say these kids, like 10 years old, even parents, everyone is looking for that next adrenaline, like endorphin rush?
I think so. I think it's more of like a fleeting pleasure for people, and we're using the artificial to replace the natural, and that's why we keep chasing after it, because it's not satisfying the way the natural way is.
It's like that 4-year-old, give me a hug. That was the biggest rush. I mean, like, oh, come here, boy. I mean, that to me is an endorphin rush. Makes me feel important, makes me feel good. When I got your contact and we exchanged numbers, you might think that I can add value to her life, but you're adding more value to my life, because now I feel more important. Now I feel like I'm going to be able to do some good back for you. So that's an endorphin rush for me, that I feel wanted and I feel needed. That's what I get out of it. It's like when somebody says, I want your number, I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Like, here's my, yeah. I was at, where was I at? I was in Dallas, and I was at a franchise conference, and one of the guys there says, hey man, do you have a card? And I said, sir, I haven't had business cards in years. He goes, why not? And I said, well, I have a contact card in my Rolodex on my phone. And I said, we will exchange numbers, and then we can text each other before we leave. And then now I've saved your contact, you've saved my contact. And now that the level of importance of this relationship now went up, because it's now solidified the relationship. If I hand you a card, you put it in your back pocket, you get back to your hotel, you throw it away. I talked to this one dude today. He was cool as hell. I don't know, what was his name? I can't remember. I lost his card. The level of importance goes away. And then all of a sudden, faded memory from your head. So when I get a contact, immediately I do a text. Hey man, nice meeting you at Waffle House. When I look back at the text, I'm like, how the freaking hell I know this dude? Oh, Waffle House, yeah. Like, you're saved under Crunch Fitness.
Oh wow, that's how I do it with the contacts on my phone. Actually.
You do?
So
yeah. I'm a nerd. I can't even keep things straight.
See, the thing is now, when Mike ever shares a contact, it shares it as he's saved it.
Oh.
So his descriptions are hilarious.
It's super funny.
Mike sent me his son's contact information, and it is quite literally Colby's son, Burke.
Oh wow. That's one way to remember it.
It's all good.
And then just PPF installer, or met at, and it will be in the contact name.
Yeah.
So that way he has that recognition, which I think is great. But at the same time, when you send that, it's like somebody.
I need 2 Rolodexes.
Yes.
One for me and one for the public.
Right.
Yeah. It's all good. Anyway, let's get back to your dad. So your dad left from Jamaica, came here, and became a surgeon.
Yes.
And where did he start doing that? In New York?
That was in New York in Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan. It's one of the bigger
Just
hospitals.
you know, just a small hospital.
Yeah, that's like the baddest hospital on the planet.
Okay.
Like big time.
I didn't realize it at the time.
What kind
but
of surgery?
general surgeon?
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
So most parts of the body, like he'll do mastectomies. He'll take out people's like gallbladders, appendixes. Just generalize. He doesn't specialize.
He's quite literally a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, jack of all trades, basically.
Was
So,
he ever in the military?
wasn't in the military.
No, because I mean, you hear people like this, like, yeah, I cut off 7 legs, in the war, and then did this, and like I guess during World War II, when they had surgeons and field doctors, and they just kind of did whatever. So your mom's a nurse,
Yes,
and you just said I want to be in the family business.
I did. I enjoyed hearing the stories that they told me, growing up, and then just wanting to make a difference in someone's life. I think that's very important.
See, this is amazing. See, this is what I want to do on this podcast. Like, I met this dude, don't know him more than 5-10 minutes. He's got a story from Jamaica. Didn't know you were from Jamaica. Had no idea. Okay. Say that again, Rasta man. That's good, man.
Everything I remind.
I fucking love it. Like, I'm going to make that my ringtone. So he's got a story. He's got a good upbringing. You got values.
Yes.
And it's just the world today needs to hear what fundamentals it takes to get to a level of where you are, right? And it's impressive, but we need to get back and remember the first thing you said. You have faith, you got your family, you got a culture that groomed you to get you to where you are.
Yes.
What difficulties do you have to get to where you are today?
Difficulties, I would
Challenges,
say.
obstacles.
I would say religion was a part of it. I grew up in a strict religion known as Jehovah's Witnesses. May or may not have heard about it. So
I know nothing about it. I'm not religious.
okay.
I'm a blank canvas.
That's probably good for you then. 'Cause
I don't. The thing about religion is this, okay? And I'm not going to get into a hard subject because it's very difficult to discuss. All I can agree upon with my very heavily religious friends is none of us truly know. We don't have factual evidence and knowledge of factual evidence that we can prove. Okay, so we can argue to the end of time, both sides. I'm going to stay in the middle, and I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to say, valid points. I'm going to listen to you, and go, valid points, and I'm going to stay neutral. And I'm going to be like, I'm just going to live by a core sense of values, which is do right by people, do as I would like someone to do to me, be happy, be good to my kids, don't do all the bad negative stuff, or it will come back to you. I feel like the energy waves of life, if you give out good, you will receive good. So as far as religion goes, there's been more death in the name of religion, in the name of gods. So to me, if I pick a side, then I've got people that hate me.
Exactly.
So I don't want anybody to hate me. So if I just stay neutral, then I'm going to be like, hey, I'm welcome in every country. I'm just passing through.
You'll be the peacekeeper.
I'm just passing through, man. I'm the UN. I got the white
Geneva.
car.
Yeah.
So everyone can argue their points, right or wrong. I'll listen to them. I'll listen to both people, and I will say, hey, man, convince me that you're right. You convince me that you're right. I will absorb all the knowledge for the rest of my life. And I will sit there and go, I want to sit at your table and be welcome. I want to sit at your table and I want to be welcome.
Exactly.
And I feel like when you pick a side, you're not welcome.
That's true.
So why should I pick a side to alienate myself away from all the people that I want to meet in my life?
Exactly.
So that's how I look at it. So when people look at me and go, Mike's not religious, I'm like, hey, it's not that I don't believe that there's a powerful thing that I don't understand, but I'm not going to go dedicate my life to the one thing that I truly don't understand. I'm going to constantly learn the rest of my life.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
That's how it should be.
Right?
I agree. I think there's good in every religion, whether you're Muslim or whether you're
Don't disagree.
Christian or Catholic.
Everything starts off good until it gets bad.
Exactly.
You move into a neighborhood and you think the neighborhood's going to be great until you get the one neighbor that lives next to you and you're like, I want to kill that son of a bitch. They reported you to the HOA because your weeds were in the yard, like, you don't have a life.
It's always that one asshole.
Come knock on my door. Like, if you hate my weeds so bad, go spray weed killer on them,
That's how I feel.
Like, come on.
sure.
No, I'm going to report you to the HOA and fine you $25 for not spraying weed killer. Like, it's insane.
It's not that serious.
Not that serious. If that's all the problems that people have in the world, they have no problems,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
Am I
Amen to
wrong?
that.
Yeah. So Jamaica, how often do you try to get back? You just came back, right?
So it's been 6 years since I last was in Jamaica, and last time I was there was for my grandfather's funeral.
And how is Jamaica? Is it a safe country?
It depends on where you go, and I think that's just like with any city or
Sure.
country. You have to know where to go. So I'm more in the touristy area. My dad has a house down there.
Kingston?
Actually, Ocho. Yeah, Kingston is the rough part. There's a lot of rough parts
I
in
know a
Kingston.
little bit about Jamaica. You know
do?
why? My roommate in college was from Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Marcus James was his name. He was on the tennis team at Western Carolina. And I was talking to him about a week before college started. And he goes, hey, I'm Marcus James. I'm from Jamaica. I'm playing on the tennis team. I'm going to be your roommate. And I'm like, oh, fuck. We got this dude that's got dreadlocks. He's going to be like, you know. So the first thing you think about as a country boy from Charlotte, North Carolina is, I'm going to be living with a dude who's got dreadlocks. That's going to be cool. Like, and he got there and he had basically tight hair and he was very prim and proper, and his dad was on the Senate or like the government.
Wow.
And he came from a very, very high profile background, which I thought was amazing. And I learned a lot about his culture, his family, and he loved tennis. And I learned a lot about Jamaica, and it was just he loved the country, he loved the people, and I've heard nothing but great things about Jamaica. So,
It's a great place.
yeah. And he moved here when?
To North Carolina, 2006.
2006.
Yes.
And then you said you started school in 2020?
I started college in 2019.
19.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to get a nursing degree?
So it depends. The entry level position for nursing is like an associate's degree, so that's 2 years at a community college.
Okay.
Then you can move on to a 4-year degree or your bachelor's degree.
So you have a 2-year?
4-year,
You have a 4-year.
because I went for my bachelor's.
Did you get assistance with the price of it, or did you have to pay for it?
I had some tuition,
Okay.
and then I had like my dad helping me with the cost
much
as well
is tuition?
too. So tuition's probably about $15,000 for that school because it's smaller. But if you go to like a well-known school like UNC, you're gonna pay twice that.
So to go to
more.
like UNC Charlotte for nursing school could be 30 grand,
I would say about 30 grand
and that's for the year.
for the year. For the year,
For
I
the
would
year.
say, yeah.
Okay. And how it takes you 4 years. Now, did you have to do regular classes, or did you just go straight into the nursing program?
I took regular classes too, like statistics or stats. Yeah.
Do you think that was important, that you needed to go take all those different classes, or do you think if nursing school could be reduced to a certain amount of years, do you think it was a little bit of waste in there, or do you not?
I think the other classes outside of the core nursing classes are waste because most of the times you don't even use that stuff like in your everyday life.
Do you think they would drive the cost down? Why do you think they do that?
I honestly think that college is a business. I've always said that to people. I mean, I think
business.
it's
It's a business.
it's beneficial if you're going for something that you know you can get a career in, but a lot of these people, they get careers after 4 years in college that they can't even pay off their student loans afterwards, and they have a hard time finding a job. So I know that's probably a controversial viewpoint on it, but
I love controversy, and I've been preaching that college is a waste of time. And I've seen Elon Musk, one of the richest people on the planet, say that college is a waste of time. He says with the information that's out there on like Khan Academy, YouTube, Google, all the different influencers, all the people that can basically coach you, there's information out there to guide you and coach you through everything that you need. Now, if you're going to be a doctor, like a surgeon, right? I doubt you can go to without going to school to learn how to be a surgeon online. Okay, I'm sure I could watch a couple of videos and be like, hey man, is that your heart right there? Okay, cool. All right, there's your heart. Okay. There's
it doesn't work that way.
So experience, you need to be taught. You need to go to
YouTube University.
It is. I mean, and college is so damn expensive. So imagine this. You take the $100 grand college fund and you put it in the S&P 500 when you're, 16, 18, and you maybe take the other 50,000 and you turn it, or say you get 100 grand college fund, take 50 grand, put it down on a house, take 50 grand, put it in S&P 500. Where are you going to be compared to 15 years from now than the guy that went to college for 5 years, came out $150,000 in debt? got a job for 70 grand a year, 60 grand a year, and then paid it back for 20 years of his life, who's going to be ahead?
The guy that invested his money.
And bought a house.
And they don't teach that in school, unfortunately. They only
Right.
save that for the 1%.
Did your parents teach you how to do that?
They did, to a certain extent. They were more religious, grounded.
Are they still religious?
Oh, for sure. They're still Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah's Witnesses is a unique part of Catholicism or Christianity. Which would you say?
It's Christianity, but the way they celebrate or practice religion is it's a lifestyle for them. It's not just something that they go to on Sunday and Thursday. It's something that they do every day. It's something that they eat, sleep, and breathe.
It's a fascinating,
very
way of
different
life.
You don't still do that?
I don't practice it anymore. I mean, I believe in God. I do have Christian beliefs, but
Did your parents get angry at you when you decided not to?
they're not happy about it. They try to bring me back every day.
Every day, son.
Yeah.
Gotta save you, son.
Exactly. That's exactly how they are, and I'm so much happier now. It's made me into the man that I am today. The morals that I've learned from it and certain values, and I still believe in reading the Bible. But
I was Catholic, I was Eucharistic minister. I did all the things. I was confirmed. I went to all the schools. I tried to do all the classes. My mom, I just wanted to make my mom happy, right? And so I went there, and then it was so funny because when I would do something wrong, and my mom's like, "You need to go to confession." Like, okay. So I go to this room, and this priest sits in there. He puts his hand on you. Michael, what's concerning you, Michael? And I tell him what's going on. He goes, "Okay, you're okay. Go out there and say 10 All Fathers and 5 Hail Marys, and we'll call it good." I'm like, okay. So I go, I say it over and over and over, and next thing you know, I walk out. I'm like, hell yeah, we go party now. All right, free. Now I can go sin. Now I can go.
Derek is right. It's a Jehovah's Witness. It's a lifestyle. So it keeps you humble by making you the same as everybody, if I'm not mistaken. So it one of my former coworkers is a Jehovah's Witness, and his family is and his 2 older brothers started a very, very, very successful sports insurance agency because they insured athletes that normal insurance agencies would not touch. And in Sparta, North Carolina, of all places, and they were doing money, still are, and they sold it and made a boatload of money, but they left so that they can pursue the things that they wanted to pursue, but it limited you on material things. You could not be better than anybody else. You couldn't show that you were better than anybody else. So you drive a modest car. You don't have flashy clothes. You don't. So that's what I meant by keeping everybody on the same plane, keeping everybody humble.
Exactly.
They're doing your work, but you are serving God in the ultimate. And that is an interesting fact of Jehovah's Witness, is that it tries to keep everybody on the same plane, whereas Christianity and Catholicism, there's always levels.
Hey, Derek Miller is chill. His life's better now. He's married. He's going to Jamaica. He's drinking whiskey. He's cheering his boy he just met. The sauna.
On Monday too. Yeah.
So it's just fascinating to hear.
Hey, mom and dad, you did a great job. He loved you, but he's living.
They haven't gotten that message yet.
Hey, you living, man. Take me into nursing. So when you graduated, how much debt did you have?
I had more credit card debt than student loan debt.
How much
crazy.
How much student loan debt?
I would say about $15K.
15. That's all. That's damn
Exactly.
good, bro. Look at this dude. All right. Then you had credit card debt. What happened there?
Just reckless spending. Being out on my own for the first time.
Tell me about reckless spending. When you got a credit card, when did you get your first credit card?
First credit card was 2018 when I moved out.
How old were you?
I was 22.
You got your first credit card at 22?
Yes.
Jeez.
Took me that long.
Actually, I didn't get my first credit card till I graduated college either.
Your mom knew you.
No, but
That was a smart decision, honestly.
Son, no.
Back to Italy really quick. We were out walking, and I was like, "Why did I get?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I got her expensive taste and her, her not passion, but her ability to walk into a shop and not walk out with something is very, very. I have no
Self-control.
self-control.
He needs to marry rich.
That's what it sounds like. There's nothing wrong with having a taste for the finer things.
It's called
in
a
life.
lot of grooming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of those trophy wives. I'm getting waxed every day. I'm getting my hair did. I'm getting my makeup.
You like what you
Botox.
like.
Yeah.
But yeah, she apologized. She goes, yeah, you come by it honestly.
It's all good. Nah, Garrett's got amazing taste. He just needs to realize he's using his credit card instead of the company credit card. No.
Gotta watch out for him.
But no, man. So you got a little bit of credit cards, and you started to have reckless spending. Did that? How many credit cards did you get after that? 1, 2, 3. Did you start applying for
I
more?
probably got about 3 or 4 after that first
Okay.
credit card.
What was your biggest limit? Like credit limit on the
Biggest limit, I would say, it was $5,000.
first? 5. Then you got another one. 5.
It was a little bit less, because at that point I racked up so much on that first credit card.
They were like, whoa,
Yeah,
this boy's a little out of control.
We're looking out for me. Yeah.
Yeah, he got away from mom and dad, started drinking, partying.
Exactly.
So anyway, did you max them out?
I maxed out one of them.
Did you? Did you pay
I
them
did.
back?
I'm in the process of paying it back.
Still.
It's been a roller coaster. It's kind of back and forth, especially since I got married,
How old are you now?
28.
So you've been out of college how long?
I would say about 6 years. 4 years, actually. I'm
4
sorry,
years.
4 years. 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your wife do?
She's a nurse too.
No, this damn nurse.
She's an R&B singer too.
An R&B singer.
Yes, she is.
Really? On TikTok?
Does a great job. TikTok, Spotify, Amazon Music. Her
Yeah?
music's on all the major platforms.
Who decided to produce this, herself, or did she do it herself?
She did it herself, like writing the music, and then she has a producer here in Charlotte.
Has she monetized it yet?
She has. She's
Making
made
more
some money off of it.
Yeah.
Not enough to like
Like $12? How much?
say fuck everybody. She she's still working her way up the totem pole, but
Honey, I
she's
got
doing
7 million views and 20 downloads. I made $18.
great. Exactly. She's realizing what it takes to get
It's
to
a
the
grind,
top.
man.
So
It's like Micah, our producer, was saying. If you put out content every day, it could be 3 to 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden, boom, it hits.
exactly.
Like, you just got to keep staying with it.
It's all about patience.
And this podcast to me is taking shape. We just put a lot of money into the cameras, into the sound, into the system, and it's not like I'm looking to monetize a podcast. I'm looking to build more relationships. Like when I meet someone interesting, I don't want to talk to them. I want to get them right here in front, right now. I want to get you on stage. Let's go. Let's talk. What's your story? I don't want to hear your story in the locker room. I want to hear it now, here, where the public can see it and the public can hear it, and I can learn it for the first time. So now it's genuine. Now
Exactly.
it's real talk. So this is real. I don't know you. I'm learning you. So I'm impressed already. Got a great family, surgeon, nurse, married a nurse. You're a nurse. So Garrett, make sure you
Smart.
get his number when we leave. So we need a caretaker.
Just in case you break a leg or
Exactly.
anything crazy.
Yo,
you're
bro,
covered.
like I know we just became friends, but like I got this herniated disc right here. Like,
Well, and it's
See a lot of that.
Derek and I were chatting a little bit before we
Yeah.
went live, and he's not just any nurse; he's an ER nurse.
no.
It's
Crazy
like
stuff, right?
he's like the badass of badass nurses. And whole respect for I've lived in between medical professionals, so I know exactly what you guys go through. And damn, props, because you are on your feet for
12 hours. a
yeah,
day.
12 to 15 hours a day, and you're dealing with anything. Your ADD, ADHD would love it because you never know what's coming through the door.
It's organized chaos.
Love it. Hey, just so you know, we upgraded your microphone since you were last here, so you need to separate it about 2 more
little bit.
inches. You were like, whoop, pew. You're
I'm
set.
excited.
I know. I'm just saying, no, it really is sharp. It, like the new
The
stuff,
pickup is great.
It's really sharp. We had one of Micah's really good audio guys come in here, and he got a laptop, hooked it up, and was like, EQ, okay, test here. And he was like literally for an hour testing each mic. I'm like, I didn't know there was that much.
You could
in
do
the
that,
sound.
yeah.
It's crazy. So ER, which hospital?
Atrium Cabarrus.
Cabarrus. What's you see gunshots?
Gunshot wounds.
It's-
Elderly people that
everybody
fell
has
and
the
hit their
same-
head.
What?
I said the exact same thing you said.
What?
Cabarrus.
So I was like, Cabarrus. Wow. So
I guess we have a reputation. I'm learning that.
so you have
recently.
gunshot.
Gunshot wounds, elderly people that hit their head, people that have been stabbed, people that have had like an
People
allergic
still
reaction.
stab each other?
Of course.
What the hell, man? It's
People can't afford guns.
Have you been in Concord Mills?
You're
So,
right.
I've been there for 2 years actually at that hospital. So that was actually my first foray into the emergency room because I've been all over the hospital.
So when you get hired on as a nurse, hey, we're putting this motherfucker in the ER. Is that like how you get your, what is it, paying your dues?
Paying your dues is more like a med surge unit, so it feels like a nursing home actually. That's like where everybody goes in the hospital if they're admitted, just a regular general floor.
Is that where you start?
That's where I started at.
And then how did you just apply for emergency room?
I wanted to try something different, just a new challenge, something that would keep me on my feet.
So how do you tell your boss, hey, bro, like, I can only check vitals for so long. This guy's got a poopy diaper. Like, I've already
That's how it feels.
I've already changed this guy's bedpan like 6 fucking times. I mean, can I go over here and deal with some action, get some adrenaline going? Yeah, that 12-hour shift, it's like I'm already had 3 5-hour energies. I'm about to fall asleep.
That's how it feels sometimes, especially when you work nights.
Do you do energy drinks?
I don't.
You don't drink? You were just about to drink a Celsius over here.
I'm always like coaching my patients on staying away from the energy drinks.
Why?
Because people overdo it.
Overdo it?
Yeah, it makes your heart beat out your chest, raises your blood pressure.
Micah, you hear that?
I have high blood pressure.
He drinks
so
like 3 a day. Micah does. Micah,
Oh,
our
man.
producer. Micah, you drink 3 a day? 2?
some people can do it. I know I can't.
He's that guy that meditates 24/7. So the energy drinks actually gives him a heartbeat. You look at him, he's same tone. Look at him 5 minutes, like same tone. Hour later, same tone.
Those are the people I like.
You have a calm temperament. Doesn't seem like you get too emotional.
I try not to.
Are you trying, or is this something natural?
It's something natural, I would say, because my dad had a very calm demeanor growing up.
So you're not trying. You just are naturally.
It just, I got the good genes from him. So
I learned that from one of my mentors. The word try, dissect it. Are you really trying, or does it just come natural? Are you trying to lose weight, or are you actually losing weight? It's not the word try. Like you want to dissect and ask questions over and over and over until they realize they're not trying. They're doing.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It's do or do not.
Right. There's a do or do not. It's a yes or no. It's a do or do not. It's not, Garrett, I'm going to try to come to dinner tonight. We'll see what time I get out of here, right? No, I know right now I'm not coming. I'm just telling you to be nice.
And it's funny. Some people can handle the I am or I'm not.
Right.
And other people need that buffer of, well, I'm going to try and come. Okay, well, you know what? He's going to do his best.
We're going to lay him down softly.
At least you're
Right.
making the effort. I think
Right.
that's what people want
I
to see.
gave you one extra thought.
The cop out.
That's what I was thinking.
It's a cop
The
out.
cop out.
It really is a cop out.
Yeah.
So what's the worst thing you've seen in surgery?
Worst thing I've seen is
Like
probably
not surgery, ER.
the ER. I seen this one guy that jumped out of a helicopter and didn't get his parachute on time and like landed on his ankle.
Ooh.
Whole ankle bone was like hanging out of his like leg.
Yeah.
His foot was just kind of flopping.
Did you fix it?
I gave him meds. Keep him comfortable.
Here's your
the
morph-
doctor fixed it.
Here's your morphine.
Plenty of morphine going around for sure.
So tell me about that. Like someone comes in, do you just have all the drugs just sitting out, or do you have to go sign and get it? And
we have to sign for it and get it because we can't just have that stuff laying around.
that's what I was thinking. Garrett,
Yeah.
they got to sign. Someone's got to approve the drugs.
Yeah. Because those drugs like to go missing around
Quite a
certain
bit.
people, so you gotta
Yep.
watch out. For sure.
Garrett, you only get half.
Then we have to waste the other half and have somebody witness because a lot of nurses, they may have problems with, prescription drug use
Really?
and stuff. There's a lot of nurses that have lost their license because of that. Just the stress from working.
Really?
People either turn to alcohol, drugs, or, something else. So
Do you guys have any kind of therapist to help these people? Like, is there someone that comes and talks to you about like, hey, like a counselor?
there's therapists for like the corporate, there's like corporate therapists for
go-
each hospital.
Do you think it goes against you to call the therapist?
I think it could, depending on, who's
What they hear.
against you. Yeah, or, what they hear.
I know everything's confidential, but hey, Garrett, Derek's fucked up.
Just working through the pandemic really was rough. So that,
Right.
that takes a big mental toll on you.
I bet it does, man. So did you see a lot of death?
I did see a lot of death. I was out in Arizona for a 13-week contract, and I saw a lot
For COVID?
for COVID. Yeah, especially since people that didn't believe in COVID or weren't taking the precautions, those are the ones that
What do
suffered
you
the
think
most.
about COVID, man? What do you think realistically? It's just a virus? It's just
It's
another
a
form of the
virus.
flu, right?
It is another form of a flu, but it mutated into something that we weren't prepared for. There's viruses that can mutate into like a million different things that can be deadlier than the original form. And I think that's what happened. We weren't prepared for something
Do you
like
think
that.
healthier people were able to fight it off quicker?
They were, but you saw healthy people dying too. People 25 years old,
Really?
healthy. Just it was picking and choosing. It wasn't just one certain population.
What do you think some of the criteria was that it was picking and choosing? Like what thing in your body, like, attacked? Like what were you being attacked?
People that already had like diseases, diabetes, hypertension, stuff like that.
Heart disease, anything that
Heart
could
disease.
weaken your ability to fight,
Exactly.
it would actually use it to its advantage.
Exactly. I agree.
So what is hypertension?
It's high blood pressure.
Well, it's me 24/7.
That's the medical term for it.
So what's really wrong with high blood pressure? Like what can happen? Your heart blow up or something?
Your heart doesn't blow up, but it's just the force of the blood hitting the blood vessels in your body. Eventually, that can cause the blood vessels to pop, which is a stroke. And that can be very serious. And over time, your blood vessels harden, so they can't deliver blood the way they should. They need to be smooth and flexible.
Listen to this guy. Like he's got a brain or something.
It's almost
I've
like
been
he's
in
a
for
nurse.
6 years, so I should know. I should know something,
It's
right?
part of this college shit. Kids, I was against college. Now I'm kind of for college.
It's beneficial
If
depending
you want
on
to go
what
into
you
the
go there
medical
for.
field, definitely go to college.
This dude's- Now, one thing that I'm not good at is like retention. I can only remember things that are like important to me.
Mhm.
Like if I really want to remember it, like I can remember like a statistic of something from 10 years ago. I can remember the high score on a Galaga.
That's important.
Stupid shit, right? But I can't remember someone having a conversation with me yesterday and he mentioned someone's name and I'm like, who is that dude? I know he said, I can't remember that shit. Like, what is wrong with my brain? Like, how do you fix your brain to like remember more shit?
It's tough. It's just what you prioritize and what's important to you. And in my line of work, I need to know certain things, so I keep that at the forefront.
Do you continual education? Do you like study books and like read and say, hey, I need to learn this a little bit more? I learned this in college, but I didn't focus on it 100%.
Well, we have to. It's part of keeping our license up. We have to do continuing education every 2 years.
What's that look like?
Just like online modules. The corporation, Atrium, they give us modules that we have to do every year.
What's a modular?
Basically just one of
A
those
video?
boring PowerPoints where somebody's talking and telling you
Oh, I know.
things you need to know.
I know what that is. I just didn't know they were called modulars.
That's the technical term for it, I guess.
Do you know that?
Used to have to do it for a couple of different things, but nothing as serious as.
Maybe I need to start putting out some modulars for this damn company.
You actually, you know what? It might be quite interesting.
Let's do it.
Because there is always something new, something different that's coming out, and that
Exactly.
is really what you're actually getting
Exactly.
taught is all those new things that are coming about.
Get your phone out every day and let's video a modular. And
Okay.
then send it
Things
back.
change every day.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. So you want to be in the medical sales department is where your future goal is.
Pharmaceutical sales, to be exact.
Why?
I could use the information that I have as a nurse will aid me in being good at pharmaceutical sales, because one thing about sales, you have to know the product that you're selling.
Sure.
So I already have a
That's not true.
very accurate knowledge of what
I
I'm
don't think
selling.
that's true.
Well, that's where your perspective comes in.
Basically,
I would love to hear your
he
perspective
just said,
on it.
"Fuck you, no, that's not right."
Garrett.
That was a
It's
very
hard to
polite.
sell something if you don't know what you're
Garrett.
selling.
Derek, that was a very polite way to do
Garrett.
that. You should go into politics, not.
Maybe
Garrett.
so.
You know that doctor that so and so is on the board. Yeah. Hey, invite that son of a bitch to go play golf next week. All right. That's how you get it done. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just the thing is, I'm only making this as a joke, but medical sales with your knowledge and background will be very crucial to the job. And I think I don't know that many people that sell drugs legally to doctors and but I do know one, and you know him.
Yep.
And he was not a nurse. He basically learned the product and sales. Don't even know what he sells, but he's in the medical sales. Does very well for himself. I think you would do very well. But I'm going to go back and re-emphasize the importance that the knowledge has, of course, but it's the relationship. It's getting doors open for you. Okay, taking someone to lunch is a key ingredient. Taking someone to coffee making someone feel important, asking for help. One thing people forget to do is ask for help. So one of the coaching things that I tell people is ask someone that's in an important position for help. It means that they can now pass on their knowledge, because normally when people rise up to a certain level, they think people want something from them, but you got to ask for help in a way that makes them feel like they're giving back, but also passing on some knowledge. And when they see your determination, they see your drive, and they see you're passionate, and they see you're a genuine person, right? Because I think within a few minutes, you can actually tell by your temperament, who you are, your background. Even though I don't know that much, I was gravitated towards you because you came across very authentic. Does that make sense?
It does. And
that, to me, opens more doors than you being some cocky guy at the gym and going, yeah, you know, I'm the man. You know, blah. No, you're faking. You're faking, bro. The quiet guy over here that's being cool, that's being chill, that's asking questions and asking information, that's the dude that's got it going on, because he's trying to level up. You're trying to act like you already have leveled up, and you haven't.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Fake it till you make it, I guess.
Well, they speak it. It's a... Listen, if you say it 3 times and someone believes you, you can go around. I used to do this years ago for myself, for like self-growth. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. I walk in the room, I'm the greatest. And I would just do this as like a coaching thing for myself. All I got to do is find one person on the planet to agree with me, and it's true. My mom. She thinks I'm the greatest.
It's your biggest cheerleader, huh?
Right. So mentally, when you adapt that principle, tell yourself you're great, find someone to solidify it and agree with you, and then it's true. And then you believe it, because now it's not fake.
Exactly.
You've got to believe in yourself. And once you believe in yourself, you can actually go and put some principles behind it. You know, I have doubts, I have fears, insecurities. We all do. And the thing is, how do we hide them? Well, we hide them and we push them back in this corner by saying good things about ourselves. You know, when you see a girl, she's like, oh, I look terrible. Even Garrett, he's like over there, you know, I feel fat, you know, my chin's off. Like, the thing is, what happens is, you're saying it jokingly, right? But you're actually talking shit about yourself. So now when you leave, you're going to be a little bit more self-conscious the rest of the day. When you wake up and look in the mirror and be like, dude, I look fucking great. I did my push-ups, I feel strong, powerful. I'm going to go give out greatness today, because I feel great. But when I feel bad, I'm probably going to give out bad. I'm going to go to Starbucks. Yeah. More coffee. Yeah. Tip, no. I don't feel good.
It's all about your energy.
It's your energy. If you feel bad, you're gonna give out the bad.
Have you? So you said you want to go into pharmaceutical sales. I could talk today, I swear. Have you sold anything before?
I haven't sold anything before in terms of like actual transaction.
Okay. So your knowledge and your expertise and your background is invaluable. The only thing is, you never use it. Once. Mike's right. It is relationship based. It is confidence based.
Confidence based.
But your knowledge is an inhibitor. It is not an asset. So when I sold diamonds, I knew more than anybody walking into that shop. I knew more about watches. I knew more about anything that anybody could walk in and ask. I either knew it or I knew somebody that knew more about it than I did. I never once used any of that knowledge when I sold. You know, because you know what it affects and how it will react. But that knowledge will be a detriment to any sale. It's weird, right?
It is.
So that knowledge will help you, and it builds your self-confidence, which is great, which is what Mike was trying to get to. But the knowledge that you have will never get used in any sales pitch you make, because you're going to be pitching to people that already know it.
That's true. It's like this one phrase I heard: people don't care what you know until they know that you care.
Exactly.
I think that's a big thing.
So the way you set yourself apart is exactly who you are.
Yes. What I just hit on a minute ago. You're authentic. Stay authentic, and you'll be the best salesperson on the planet. Because people want to buy from people they like. And they want to buy from someone who cares. And they want to buy from someone who's got their back. and that makes them feel important. It's not about you. You know how to put it on to someone else. The world has egos. Learn how to use that knowledge to your advantage. Giving a compliment, making someone feel good, getting their endorphins up. You just said a like on social media is more important than, not more important, but it's just as
Addictive.
Satisfying and gratifying.
than heroin, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I'll tell you, if for me, I'm just making this up as I go, but like who would you sell medical stuff to? Doctors?
Doctors.
Okay. Is doctors' information public knowledge? Can you go online and research the doctor?
You can.
Like LinkedIn, Novant, okay. Know where they went to school.
Yes.
Okay. So what you do is a cheat sheet. You have to research the doctor, know more about the doctor than he knows about himself, where he went to school, what he practiced, how long has he been in service, how long has he been at the hospital, what college football team he likes, what NFL football team he likes, right? And it's the power of getting to know the knowledge and finding some common ground. Like say you find a doctor that loves to hunt. Well, you love to hunt. You've been hunting your whole life, and you talk about deer, and you talk about this. You talk about everything but the drugs. The drugs sell themselves. You're there to build a relationship with the guy to where he feels comfortable doing business with you because you make him feel important. You're making him feel important. Somebody comes in and knows about me. Mike, I researched you. You have a podcast. You're a Guinness World Record holder. You have lots of businesses. You went to Western Carolina University. You do this, and they come in. And in 5 minutes, they know everything about me. I'm like, fuck.
You're impressed.
Who the hell is this dude? Like, wow, what do you want? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's the personal interest.
Study the person.
Yeah.
Find one thing, not 10, one that you can hone in on, that you can build a relationship around. Like, oh, I see you went to UNC. You a big Chapel Hills fan? You like Tar Heels? Were you there when Jordan was there? Conversation. That's sales. Sales is building relationship. I'll tell you a true story. I got out of college. My dad goes, son, you got to go get a job. Yes, sir, I know. You're a natural born salesman, so go sell. I got a marketing degree from college. And he says, go sell cars. So I went and sold cars. First week, I was selling cars. I knew nothing about cars. I knew nothing about selling cars. All I knew is there was a bunch of guys outside that were way older than me, and they were smoking cigarettes, and they were what I call crapped out. And then when a guy would pull up, oh, that dude's upside down. He's a bogue. Do you know what a bogue is?
No.
Okay. A bogue is a guy that has bad credit. So he's pulling up in a car that looks cheap. He dresses a certain way, and means his credit's bad, and he can't buy a car. So why do I want to go help this guy? So they judge the guy before he even freaking walks in the dealership. They're like, oh, look at that dude, he's bogue. And then they got a guy that's bringing in a car that's like 2 years old. And he drives up, the car looks great. And they go, oh, he's upside down. You know what upside down means?
Yes.
It means that you owe more on the car than it's worth. It means you're trading the car, and then we're going to have $3,000 to $4,000 or $5,000 negative equity to try to buy a car. And the guy wants to lower his payment, but his payment's going to go up, not down. So they turn around and they prejudge all these people. Guess what I did?
You talked to the guy that looked like he didn't have money.
I opened the door. I pushed all the other salespeople away and said, I opened the door for every single person at the dealership. When that was my turn, or when I was outside, I saw somebody pull up. I'd open the door. Hey man, how you doing, man? Welcome to Scott Clark Toyota. How you doing? Yeah, what are you here to buy today? What are you here to buy today? Program their brain. Well, I'm not looking to buy a car today. Awesome. Which one do you want to drive? Well, you came in to drive something. Like, tell me, you want a truck, you want an SUV, you want a car? I mean, I got the new Supra here. You want to go drive it? Oh, you have one of those? Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I got the keys. I mean, I ain't drove it yet. You want to go drive it? Excitement. Some dude just pulled up in a freaking Honda Accord trying to buy a freaking, 4Runner. But I'm over here showing him a $60,000 Supra at the time in 1994, 5. But I got him all excited. And I go get the keys, and the manager looks over at me and goes, I don't think that dude's going to be able to buy that car. He's like, you really going to go test drive that car? Because they keep an eye on it. And I go, Well, yeah, it needs gas. I saw it was out of gas. So let me just ride up to the gas station and go get it. So I would just get the keys. I'd get a gas card. I'd go take it over there. And I'd drive the car off the lot, and then I'd let him drive it back. And then we park it, and I go, I know you're not buying the car, but that was fun, right? Yeah, okay, cool. What are you looking to buy? Dude's built rapport with me.
You got him excited.
I got him excited.
And you got him to get his guard down.
Way down.
That's the biggest thing.
He feels comfortable now.
Right?
Yeah.
And I go, you want a 4Runner? He goes, yeah, man. I said, hey, I was saving this one, man. It just came in on trade. They haven't cleaned it up yet. It's down at the bottom of the lot. I said, but it's only like 2 years old. It's got like 30,000 miles. I said, I think they put like 19 grand in it. I said, I don't know what they're going to sell it for, but I remember the deal, and I know they traded for it, and they put like 19 grand in it. I have no idea what they put in the car. Like 17, 16, or 15. I don't know what it was. But I'm over here priming the guy, right? Like, and then when I come back, I go, the car's like 21.5, but they got to run it through the shop, and they got to clean it, and they got to do all this stuff. I said, but you be the first one that'll look at it if you want to buy it. I said, you want to get the keys? Got him all excited. Used car. Next thing you know, ran it through the shop, got it sold. Like, just like that. I'm talking like seconds. And then I sold the first day that I was there 3 cars in one day. 3 cars. And the guys were looking at me like, how the hell did this rookie come in and sell 3 cars in one day? And other people haven't even sold one. It's the law of averages. You show up at a bar and you talk to somebody and they say no. You talk to the next person, they say no. You talk to the next person, they say yes. You just keep talking to people over and over and over until you find the yes. It's just the law of averages.
Derek, you were the yes that said that he wanted to come on a podcast.
It's like the 5th person, right?
I love it. So then I learned something else about sales. I said, okay, I have to go to the key track machine and I have to get the keys out. I have to walk, get the car, get the customer in, take them to the back, walk them through a car sale, figure out what car they want to sell, go get the key track, get the stock number, hit in the machine, go back. I mean, I was literally walking the lot like 30 times a day. And I go, there's got to be a better way. Got to be more efficient, right? Well, when I would get into the car that has been sitting on the lot for a while, it wouldn't crank because it's been sitting, so the battery's dead. So then I got to go back to service, go roll the jump box off, jump the thing. That's another 20 minutes. So this guy came in wanting to buy a car, 20 minutes to get the keys, 20 minutes to get the jump box. He'd been there an hour, haven't even freaking drove the car yet. And I'm sitting there going, So in the morning, I would come in, I got in friends with one of the managers. And they have to sign off, the managers have to sign off on a gas card, right? To go get gas at the gas station. Like $10, $5. They don't put a lot of money in there because they fill it up when it sells, so they keep the cars low in gas, so they don't have to pay a lot of money to keep a lot of gas on the cars. So anyway, I would go find a car that had aged unit because they would in the morning have sales meetings and they would go, oh, this car's been here for 120 days. We need to sell it. We're going to do a $300 bonus on this car, blah, blah, blah. And they would just roll down the cars, right? I'd write down the stock number. Hey guys, I need to go pee. I'll be right back. And this is a sales meeting, right? Go out the key track machine. Take the keys to that car. Go over to the detail department. Pay the guy $10. Hey man, wash this car. Put some armor on. Get the plastic off the floors. And then we'll turn around and tell one of the managers when they get back to the thing, hey man, I need you to sign this gas card. He goes, what's happening? He said, I got a guy coming down on this car later, man. I said, I got a guy coming in later who looks at this car. I said, I want to make sure it's got gas in it. Okay, cool. So it's $10. I go get gas. I hide the car back in the back of the lot. Keys are in my pocket. Guess what happens when the guy comes on the lot? I show him that car. Takes 5 minutes. Hey man, I got a car I just showed to another guy. He says he's going to come back this afternoon and buy it, but he didn't. But the car's already clean. It's already washed. It's already full of gas. I think this guy's going to come back and get it this afternoon. Do you want to drive it? And we go drive it. He's taken ownership of a clean, washed, armor-alled car with gas, with a good experience that I did not have to get a jump box. And then I sold the car, and I made $300 more on the car because it had been there for a while. It's called marketing. Market yourself, market the car, market the experience. That's sales. Give someone a good experience. Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
That's what they remember, the experience.
Experience, right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I walk into nice stores. And you walk into a nice store, and these guys are trained professionals on an experience. You know, you walk into Louis Vuitton, go have the experience. Go walk into Gucci, walk into all these high stores, and just go through the experience. Not that you want to buy anything, but just go through the experience. These are trained people to hit on your emotions. They're there to hit your emotions, to make you feel more important, to make you feel like you deserve this. So one thing that I do here in my sales is when somebody comes in and wants window tint, we have a good, better, best, right? We have a window tint that's standard film. We have a mid-grade film that's ceramic, and then we have a high dollar film that's like ultra badass. And I get the people in on the cheap stuff. Hey man, just come on in. I got a good basic film, starts at this price, come on in, blah, blah, blah. And then when they get here, I'll go outside, I'll walk around the car. Hey man, how long you own this car? Oh yeah, I just bought it not too long ago. Oh, congratulations, man. I love the spoiler, I love the rims. Build some rapport, compliment the car. Compliment, hey man, congratulations, beautiful car. Oh, I see you got black interior. It's gonna be hot this summer. You might want to upgrade to our ceramic film. Blocks out a lot more heat than our standard film. But you know, if you're on a budget, I totally understand. I totally get it. You just bought a new car. If you're on a budget, I totally understand. Planting a seed. If you're on a budget. But I come back inside, and when I start looking at the film, and I do the heat lamp display, he goes, "Oh yeah, that's really good." I said, "Hey man, when's the last time you treated yourself? When's the last time you actually upgraded and actually treated yourself to like the filet instead of the sirloin? How long you plan on keeping this car? 5, 6 years? You just bought it, right? What are we talking about? An extra $100? Just treat yourself and get the good stuff. Don't you think you deserve it?" And nod your head while you're doing it. Don't you think you deserve the good stuff? Guess what you do? You start mimicking me and start nodding your head, talking yourself into it. That's a sales tactic. Salesmanship is just building a relationship and letting the customer kind of navigate where you want to go. But when you are instigating and putting things in front of someone, you're priming them to make decisions in your direction. Am I not wrong?
No, you're exactly right. For sales, you're always the captain of the ship. You just let everybody else think that they are the captain, that their wheel has no bearing on where it's going. They just need something to hold on to.
That's a great way to put it.
I sell off emotion and excitement.
Yep.
So my number one thing is excited.
That's what drives people. Emotions.
So when someone calls my store and I answer the phone, I'm acting like I'm talking to one of my fraternity brothers that I have not seen in 2 years. And I'm like, "Whoa, what's up, man? How are you? What's going on?" You know? "Oh, so how's the weather where you are?" You know, or hey, you know, just start asking questions and start being funny and be different. And then when they just called the other shop and they go, "Hey, yo, good morning, Stan. Yeah, it's like $150. Yeah, I can do it tomorrow." "Okay, click. Let us know if you want to make an appointment." "Okay, cool. See you." You're not going to want to do business with that guy. And then they call me. "Hey, Mrs. Johnson, how are you? It's so nice to hear from you. How did you hear about us?" "Oh, okay. You've had your windows tinted before? Great. Well, I don't need to go on the spill. You've had your windows tinted before, so you know exactly what you want. When can we get you in? I don't even know. When can we get you in? How soon do you want to get in? You want to get in today? You want to get in today? How soon can we get you in?" I'm excited. I'm excited because you're excited. I'm excited because you called me. And that's one thing that you have to understand is in our line of work, there's different types of sales, right? The customer went on Google or went somewhere and researched that this is the product they're looking for, and now they're reaching out to call to get that product. Now they're interested in that product. It's a warm call, like they're calling me. I didn't call the customer called me. Make sense?
It does.
In your line of work or where you want to go, you're having to call on the doctor, make appointments with their nurses, make appointments for their desk, look at their schedule, and then go in and get some time with that doctor. Now it's very difficult for you to get that time. You got to find that little window of opportunity that works to get in the door. Okay. Another thing is, you know, I don't know where doctors meet, but they do have to eat in the cafeteria at certain times.
Exactly.
So go introduce yourself, you know, to people that are doctors. But the real thing that you need to be doing now is meet every doctor that you can and make sure they have your name and your phone number and your contact. Ask the doctors right now, because you're a nurse, every doctor that you meet or come in contact with anywhere, make sure you got their number and their contact information in your phone.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Because what happens is that you randomly ask them a question or say, hey doctor, I had this patient in the other day. How would you have handled this? Okay. Put them in a spotlight to where it's like, hey, I was in this situation the other way in the ER and I was doing this and this and I was giving this guy's meds and he started reacting like this. What do you think that was? Now you're working together to solve a problem. When you're solving a problem together, you're colleagues, you're equals. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See,
I do that all the time.
do that all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Get the doctor's phone number and say, hey man, if I ever get a situation where I'm just, don't really have the answers, do you mind if I reach out to you and kind of give you a text or whatever, and, reach back out to you. Then a week later, text that doctor, say, hey, Dr. Joe, man, I really appreciate you spending some time with me in the ER today. I learned a lot from you. Don't need a thing, just want to give him a little, that a boy. How many people don't like a pat on the back?
Everybody loves that.
Everybody
wants to feel important.
Even Garrett.
On occasion.
It's like a basic human need almost,
Yep.
But so that's nurturing the relationship. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you have a homework assignment. Homework assignment is to go back to work and network your already existing network pool, because the doctors that you work with in this ER will not be there 10 years from now. They won't. Am I right?
They'll move on from burnout.
But they will go to a different hospital, or they will go to a bigger hospital. But guess who still has their phone number?
I do.
Yeah. See their importance? These people move on, but you still have access to them.
And more importantly, not just them, their network. So when you are in sales, hey, Dr. Smith, your help to me was immeasurable. I'm now doing this. Who do you know in this field that I can talk to? They give you that contact. Hey, Dr. Smith told me to reach out to you because he said you're just starting this practice. I think that my such and such pill can help. When can I sit down? Using their name, and then they contact Dr. Smith and say, hey, you sent that. You need to talk to this kid. He knows what he's talking about, and I think he might actually be able to help. That is, it's one of the best, it's a referral. It is one of the best ways in that you can ever imagine.
How many people in your phone are pretty important people?
I would say about 80 to 90% of them.
Okay. How often do you text them?
I try to text them at least once a week.
All of them?
Not all of them. Some people take priority over others.
Do you text 5 random people a day in your contacts?
I try to nurture those relationships.
Good for you.
Since I've come back from vacation,
You just text them, hey bro, what's up, man?
Exactly.
Good. I love it.
I try to build my network, especially now that I'm in Charlotte.
You must fucking love me. I got 7 text messages. I'm just kidding.
Nurturing that relationship, that's
all
that's
good,
what it
bro.
takes, for sure. So
I was telling, I think somebody in Texas, I was at a gas station, and the lady goes, oh, you just got good energy. I'm only saying that because this lady was like kind of crazy, and she was sitting there flirting with me. And she was, I don't even know if she had teeth, but like she was over there, and she was just like, oh, girl, you have, and she was just going off on me, and I'm like, yeah, baby. I said, I'll tell you, I speak 32 languages. She goes, oh, you do? I said, hell yeah. I said, every country I go to, they recognize a smile. I said, every country I go to, I can smile, and people smile back. It's a universal language. I said, so in life, you don't need to speak every language. You need to speak the language of giving out some good energy and smile and be happy.
Amen to that.
If you can smile in any country, I was in China, smiled, people smiled back. I was in Japan, people smiled back.
it's infectious.
It is. If you're in the gym and you look over at this girl and you just go, you just keep smiling, and she's going to look and go, that's a creepy dude over there.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, any questions you got for me?
I would say, what is your best piece of advice that you could give to somebody of my age?
28 years old, paying off a little bit of credit card debt. You own a house?
I do.
You own a house?
First house, it was 3 years ago in Indian
All right,
Trail.
we're done.
So.
This podcast is done. So, podcast is over. Great parents, dad's a surgeon, mom's a nurse, he's a nurse,
Good head
girlfriend's a
on his
nurse.
shoulders.
You don't need fun.
I have so much more room to grow.
You
though.
need nothing. The dude's got a roadmap. Like, listen, I need to be your friend. Like this
That's
dude-
how I feel about my wife. Because she owned a house when she was 21, and I was still in an apartment.
Crazy.
So this is like her second house.
Who the
So
hell convinced you to buy a house?
we wanted a house. We wanted to level
So you
up.
bought it together, or did you buy your
We
first?
bought it together.
Did you buy one, then she bought one, you sold them, and they bought another one?
She had one before we bought a house together.
Okay, so she helped you buy the house.
Yes.
Your
It's
first
both
house.
of our incomes.
Let's be very clear
We're a
on
team.
this podcast. The girlfriend has her shit together.
It's a marriage.
Bought her
It's a
Well,
marriage.
she was a wife at the time whenever we bought the house.
No, the first house she owned.
She owned before she met me. This
That's
was
what I'm
before.
talking about. We have to
Yeah.
go backwards here.
Okay.
Derek met a woman who had her shit together.
Exactly.
Nurse. And she's probably a little older than you.
5 months. Not even.
I was wrong.
She's probably 10 years older mentally, I would say.
10 years.
Definitely ahead of her time,
That's great.
for sure. So
Look at
that
that.
was one of the big draws.
She bought a house. And then she sold her house to buy this new house.
We moved into an apartment for about 2 years, and then we decided to get a house together.
But she sold her house to move in an apartment with you.
She did.
What a fucking
Big gamble. She rented it out at first. We had headaches with the renters.
You must really be a good cuddler.
Well, a little bit more than that. Takes more than that, but that's where it
God.
starts, you know.
She moved out of her own house to go live with you in an apartment. That is love. She must really love you.
She does.
I can see why. You're a
Yeah.
lovable guy. I can see that. You're a good dude. I can see it.
I try to be
You have beautiful eyes. You just kind of have these like, yes, I'm a good guy.
a little rough around the edges, but I'm getting there.
Dude, anybody can speak English and partly Jamaican. I think it's cool as hell.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you got to play that up a little bit. You got to play the Jamaican up a little bit.
I tell everybody I meet,
You know what? If you went into the locker room and you just started like talking straight out gangsta Jamaican, I'd be like, dude, this dude's wild right here. I love the shock value. You know, years ago when I actually gave a shit about shoes, I'll be like the first one wearing like all orange shoes in the gym, like the Nike Air Maxes that were like all, but lime green ones next week. Like I'd walk in and be like, yeah, there's Mike just making a statement.
that's my style. I love that.
What size shoe are you?
12.
I got to throw you 10 pair. I got tons of them.
Sounds good.
I don't wear them. Actually, since I had back surgery, I'm paralyzed in my left leg, and I have to wear neutral shoes, like zero. So I have to wear these like slip-on shoes. So I can't wear Nikes anymore. Can't wear them.
Wow.
So I give you all my shoes.
I love Nikes.
I will bring you a care package.
Bring it on.
There you go. You got to represent.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, it's very cool to have someone on here that I just met that has a story like you. And that to me is why I like to do this damn podcast, man. I've just learned a lot about you. I learned a lot about, not a lot, but a little bit about Jehovah Witness, and that you decided that you want to be neutral like me and still have faith, which is great because now you can sit at everybody's table.
Exactly.
And I love that. Garrett, I think, feels a lot of the same way I do on
Mhm.
that.
I do.
And it's just good to be around good people. You know, I didn't know you were a good person, but I could kind of tell. It's like an intuition. You just kind of know, I think that guy's pretty good, right? That's awesome. So your next journey is, how long is it going to take you to get to where you want to go? What's your roadmap from nursing to medical sales?
I would say about a year. My wife is in school right now to get her bachelor's,
Okay.
so I'm kind of putting some plans on hold to support her and make
Okay.
sure she gets
Okay.
through to her goal.
So you have homework. You're in school now too, because mentally now after this podcast, you're in school. Your school is to go
Yes.
check in with me every week and let me know how many doctors' names and numbers you got. And you've got to go have a homework assignment of basically building that value and doing the things that you need to do. Work on yourself, asking questions to these doctors. Go get entwined in their little groups. Ask a doctor for coffee. Ask a doctor if you don't play golf, just, you know, whatever you guys can do outside of work, go build something. Learn and research the doctors before, like the people you work with, go on their LinkedIn, go on their bios, say something. And when you get into a room, when you're with them, and when it's all done and you have like a little bit of downtime, say, hey, Doc, I didn't know you went to University of Louisville. Man, I'm a big Louisville fan. You know, do you like the school? Blah, blah, blah. You know something about them, make a comment, see if they bite. And if they don't bite, let it go.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Research a doctor, find something about them, plant a seed. And then it makes them feel like, where'd this guy come from? Like, oh, you're one of us. Now you're in the club.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So that's the real key ingredient, is just be in the club and feel like in your heart that you belong. Like he said, confidence. I've walked into places like, think of a nightclub. You ever been to a nightclub?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Plenty.
Did you ever have to stand in line?
Definitely.
Not me. I don't stand in line. I was in New York City. Walked down. I was with Audrey. I walked out of the hotel. The club was getting ready at like 4:30, like prepping it. But I came out of this really nice hotel, walked left, and I saw, oh shit, there's a nightclub right here. I'm like, okay, cool. Walked over to the dude, big bouncer, looked at him, and I said, he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I said, hey, what's going on over here? And he said, oh, nightclub. I said, yeah, it's not really my style, man. And I said, I'm wearing a nice watch, looking presentable. Started hitting it off, shooting the shit with the dude. And I gave him a little love. I said, man, you looking good, man. You hitting the gym hard, blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah, you are too. And I said, yeah, I dabble with MMA. I boxed and do some coaching and stuff here and there, and it helps the people. And he goes, what you doing here? And I said, oh, I'm here doing whatever, blah, blah, blah. I said, how long you been a bouncer, man? I used to have a nightclub, man. I used to do this, this, and this. And just start shooting the shit, right? Didn't think anything about it. Go upstairs, get dressed, want to have some dinner. Went and had some dinner. We were walking back to the hotel. Line probably 50 deep. Walked right by the place. I looked at the dude. I said, hey, what's up, man? He said, what's up? And I said, you mind if we check the place out for a little bit? Walked right in.
Wow.
I don't stand in line. I didn't want to stand in line. I didn't act like I wanted to go to stand in line. I act like I want to talk to that dude, and he's now, me and him are boys. And he's like, yeah, go check it out. Hop on in. So that's the key. Feel like you belong, be confident, and make the value in the people that are working the door, not the owner. That's the gatekeeper. The guy at the door is the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
Make him feel important. And when he opened that rope, I slid him $20. He didn't ask for it. I just gave him $20. Thank you. Appreciate your time. And if he would have said no, go get in line, I would have walked right by and went back to the hotel room and would have never gotten in line. But if he would have said no, I wouldn't have gone in. And he knows that. He knows I wouldn't have gone in. He knows I would not have gone back in line. But he knows I would have gone in and spent money in there. You see what I'm saying?
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win, right? So that is a salesmanship and a confidence that you, as a calm, gentle, nice guy, need to work on. Become an actor. Like in sales, I tell my sales staff, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Before you answer the phone, get into character. Level up. Don't go from level 2, go to level 7. Like, take your energy level up. Take your excitement level up, because you're on stage. That phone is on stage. As soon as you hang up, all right, man. I can go back to being Mike. But think about that. That if you ask me what advice I can give you, anytime that you can go be on stage and be seen, change a little bit of your personality to be on stage. Your stage presence is not your daily presence. Separate the two. Does that make sense?
It does.
So Garrett does it naturally.
I do it at work all the time. I have to put on,
Bedside
the professionalism. Manner. Exactly. Bedside manner. And people told me I have good bedside manner, so I try my best.
Well, the other thing is like, imagine I'm in the hospital and I'm bleeding out and I got like a 20% chance of living, but I'm talking to you and you're talking to me. Your job is to make me feel comfortable. Be confident. Nah, we got this, man. We got this. You got this. Don't worry. Have you ever had to do that?
For sure.
You have.
Plenty of times.
That's insane. That's pressure. Do you live with it? Do you have any kind of remorse, or kind of, does it eat at you? Any of the things you've seen?
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
What do you do to get that out?
A lot of different things. Go to the gym. I like to run, listen to music. Traveling is probably my biggest hobby.
Where's your favorite place to travel outside Jamaica?
Oh man, that's a good question.
Come on, bro. Top 3.
I would say top 3 would have to be Cuba.
Really?
Was probably my number 1. I went there on a cruise.
I've heard great things. My mom went to Cuba.
Yeah, right before Trump shut it down.
Why?
He did. I guess they're supporting communist countries, so yeah. Florida is a great place to go to, of
No,
course.
It's not a country.
It's not a country, but I mean, I've only been
Outside the U.S. You have to get a
outside of
passport.
Jamaica. Outside of Jamaica, really, it's the Bahamas that I've been to that I need a passport. I've been to Puerto Rico too.
Yeah.
That was a great time.
So you stayed pretty local. You haven't gone crazy.
Planning to go to Europe next year.
Where?
Germany. We met some friends in Jamaica while we were down there. A couple, they're from Germany, and they're inviting us over.
So if you go to Munich, they got the big. We were there at the bar where they do all the crazy beer drinking and the people play all the. And then they outside of there, right outside, they have these like old time, like every hour things spin and they do all this kind of sideshow and stuff.
Very Bavarian.
Is that what it is?
Yep, Bavaria.
Super cool.
Yeah, I love different cultures. There's so much to learn in every country in the world. So
I love Japan. I actually love China. I loved Croatia. I loved Italy. I mean, everything is just cool.
it is.
It's ancient. Like you think of the U.S., you're like, Boston, yeah, you're kind of old. New York,
That was, I mean, being in Venice and being in a building that was constructed before our country was even formed.
Yep.
Was incredible to be in places that were from the 1300s, 1400s that are still standing and still strong and still show presence. Did
you go in the church? The one in the cathedral right there in the open square?
Yeah, so we went to St. Mark's. I went to Doge's Palace. We
Yep.
did a lot of the different churches there. There are over 140 churches in Venice.
God pays good.
It was just incredible. So you see so much, and you see all these works of art, and the old works do nothing for me, but just to see these on this magnitude of scale
Right.
is impressive.
Yeah. I'm a big historian.
I love history, bro. Like, the aliens did a really good job at the pyramids. Fucking love it, man.
I don't know if I believe that one.
What's it called? The Enaki? What's it called? The Eunaki?
Mm-hmm.
If you research it, Joe Rogan was talking about it, like all the aliens and stuff. He was like, the Anunnaki. It's like a whole different culture that was here. That was like aliens that came in and they left. And here's the thing: no one knows, like realistically, the detail of how they built that shit. There was some space age technology back then. There had to be. There's no way a bunch of people on giraffes and lions and elephants moving boulders and carving with little chisels. I mean, come on. The level of detail is incredible.
It's impressive.
I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. I don't have the answers. But what's cool is thinking about all the wild scenarios. That's cool to me.
Yeah.
You know, beam me up, Scotty. All the. I like to be. I'm an imaginary brain. So to me, being creative and being imaginary is like, yeah, that's possible. Like, tell me it's not possible. Prove to me they didn't. Nobody can. Okay, well, cool. Prove to me the ancients did it. It's just cool to think different. It's not like I want to read a book. Yep, that's exactly how they did it. Yep, exactly. They were back there 3,000 years ago. Yep, I witnessed it. Yep, I saw it. Nope, we didn't. And I would love to get a time machine, like Back to the Future. The thing is, if I was doing Back to the Future, would you go into the future or go back to the future?
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about?
I always thought I wanted to go like further into the future,
right?
but I want to go back in the future because there's so much to learn.
Yes,
that we can use.
I'm right there. I'm right there with you.
I mean,
sure.
I've never asked that question before, but like I never thought of myself. But I'm like, all right, if I'm in the time machine and I'm over here going choo choo choo, the DeLorean,
right?
And I'm going, all right, I got enough carrots, and when he upgraded it, oh no, it was bananas or something,
right?
So banana peels, and no, we work off of this now, and but you know, and we have to get up to 88 miles
an hour?
Yeah. So I would go back in time, like that's what I would want to do. I don't want to see the future. I want the future to be planned one day at a time. I don't want to see too far ahead. I want to see what happened in the past. That's just me. Like to think how, like, we have hot water, we have cell phones, and we have all these cars and all this infrastructure, and we bitch about everything. These dudes were out there like roughing it, man.
Yep.
Like roughing it. Talk about cold. Like I was watching a Western not too long ago, and I'm like, dude, think about all those dudes. Like the Wild West, they had a little fire. Man, I'm cold just sitting in the freaking living room at 60 degrees. My feet are freezing. We're spoiled.
We need some of that mental and physical toughness that they had back then.
We lost it.
We did.
Why?
Comfort.
People just being lazy, not having the same work ethic, and things are done for us through technology instead of us going out and doing it ourselves.
Well, the other thing is the average lifespan of someone 100 years ago was like 50. Average lifespan now is what, 75, 80? Like, I'm just saying, we're 25 years ahead on lifespan compared to, say, 1920s, 1910s, 1800s. Like, if you think, you go back statistically and look 100 years ago, like, like retirement age is sick. Well, you were dying. And I asked my dad this question. I said, Dad, why are you so broke? And he looks at me and he goes, son. He always called me son. He's listening, but it's okay. I laugh at it now. He goes, well, you know, when I retired, I thought I might live to 70 or 75, you know, since my uncle died early and my dad died early and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, I'm 84. I lived 10 years past what I thought I was going to live. I'm like, makes perfect sense. Yep. I'm like, ding, ding, ding. I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting there in my head going, he's not wrong. If you planned a certain level, like, when do you plan the expiration date on your life? Like, how do you plan enough money, enough resources, enough help, and enough care to take care of you to 80? Is it 85? Is it 90? Like, where is the level of, like, I'm going to plan enough money to live my life to X, and I'm going to plan enough care to this, and I'm gonna, like, nobody knows. You don't know your expiration date.
That's what makes it exciting.
Does it make it exciting, or does it make it worrisome?
It depends on how you look at it.
Love the people you love. Tell them every day. Live your life to the fullest. Don't regret anything. Don't live your life in regret. Challenge yourself. Do the things you want to do. So when I started to get a little bit depressed with my back surgery, I was forming this group. It was called the Bat Club, the Bat Signal. You know what the bat signal is?
Of
like
course.
in Batman?
Yeah.
They put the signal in the air. So it was a group of guys. We tried to get it off the ground. We tried. We did. And that's why I used the word try. We all gave effort. It just didn't really go as far as I wanted it to go. It was more in theory. So it was like a group of guys that when we had a bad day or a bad experience, we would throw the bat signal to all of us. We could only bring a book back, and that's it. And you had to be at the airport within 4 hours. And whoever threw the bat signal in had to pick the place where we were going. And everybody had to buy their tickets at the airport.
Wow.
And you had 24 hours. So you get to go somewhere, like say Florida or, you know, say New York or say Chicago or whatever. And you don't have a hotel and you don't have any plans. You plan it every minute as you go. So you meet at the airport. Say like right now, Garrett and I go to the airport. Where do you want to go? Well, I'm having a bad day, dude. I want to go get a bagel in New York. I want some pizza. Let's go. Get on the next flight to New York. We get a cab, no hotel, and we go get pizza. Okay, now I want a specialty cocktail from this bar. Okay, we go there. No phones. Phones stay in the backpack, turned off. It's just the experience for 24 hours. That is just about you and what you want to do in life to celebrate freedom, to celebrate that you have a choice every second of your life to do what you want to do.
I would love that. I'm very spontaneous, so that would be
Bro, I'll
something
text
I'd
you.
be all for.
Maybe we could do the Batgirl signal now. Anyway, now I just think that would be super cool, right?
That's awesome.
Because later in life, you know, when you're sitting on the front porch and you're kind of, you know, down, you know, talking to your grandkids and you're in a rocking chair, you're like, yeah, you want me to tell you about all the experiences I had? I mean, we had this club called the Bat Signal. Me and my buddies would just meet at the airport and get on the next flight down. You know, just that kind of spontaneous energy, to me, thrives life. It's like, I'm living. Like, I'm tempted to just get on a freaking plane tonight. Let's go somewhere just for the day. Like, just go do something just because we can. We're almost prisoners to our normal day-to-day routine.
Definitely.
Break the routine. Be uncomfortable. Do something spontaneous. Don't have a bag. Don't pack a bag. You don't need to change your clothes for 24 hours. Just go sleep in your damn clothes.
That's where great stories come from.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you go to the CVS and you get some toothpaste and
with your finger.
I know I was in college, man. We went down to the beach a couple times and have a place to stay in the summer, and we slept in our car.
Wow.
And then we would go shower at McDonald's. We would like go to McDonald's, like hold the door, be like, somebody's in there, and I'm over there taking my clothes off, like showering in there and stuff. And then we'd go get, you know, whatever kind of drink, and then we would take toothpaste, and then we would just put it on our finger, and just, next thing you know, ready to go. When you're 19, 20 years old, you just 20, 21, you just kind of do that spontaneous stuff. We got to live. Those are the experiences that you remember. Because I'll meet somebody I went to college with and be like, hey, man, you remember that time? Yeah, I remember that time, too. We didn't remember 20,000 things that happened in college. We remember that one damn time, and you're still talking about that one damn time, right? And that's the thing that I want to do, is create the one damn time. Because every year or every month, I want to create one damn time.
Yeah.
I want more stories.
That's what life is about.
I want more stories. But anything you want to add up?
No, I think that everything that we've talked about is actually kind of really cool, and came back to because what you talked about at the beginning was relationships and why they're important.
Super.
And so your relationships throughout your life and what will continue bear importance, and they just affect it in different ways. So I wanted to ask, based on this conversation, what relationships moving forward do you think you need to keep, progress, or remove?
Well, I definitely want to keep the relationships I have with people that I work in healthcare, like doctors, like you said, and other nurses as well. I want to remove the people that don't have like a purpose in life, that aren't going in a direction that they should be. And I would just say keeping the relationships with my family members that aren't toxic.
You need fuel. So one thing I always preach is I need fuel. I'm a motor that wants to run. Garrett's in a good mood. He calls me in the mornings. Hey, bro, I sold 2 jobs today. I got energy, right? Girlfriend, she turns around and says, hey, I got dinner ready, and it's your favorite meal. And
Something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. You got to just constantly have something to look forward to. My son will call me and say, hey, Dad, guess what? I'm like, what? I put a transmission in my car and a clutch, and it worked. Hey. Yeah. That kind of thing is excitement, is fuel. So in life, constantly throughout the day, we need fuel, not coffee, not energy drinks. We need the fuel from our loved ones and people we care about to fuel us on the achievements of what they've done today that meant something to them. So when you achieve something that meant something, do you share that experience? If you save someone's life in the hospital, text me.
I will.
Just say, I'm not going to get emotional, but like, it might make me cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you just saved someone's life. Like, fucking how important is that? That's fucking badass. Right?
It is. We do it a lot. We do it so much. We kind of take it for granted.
Yeah,
I
but
guess.
you're taking it for granted. But the common people, we're not put in the hot seat. Our worst day is that we're in traffic.
Yeah.
Your worst day is that guy's life is in your hands. We need to experience that. Get online. You have Facebook.
For sure.
Get online. Tell some stories. Don't talk about the patients, but just talk about some experiences. Get it out there. Like, I want to chime in. Every time you save someone's life, go on Facebook. Hey, had a patient in today. Didn't think he was going to make it. He made it. What's going to happen is you're going to inspire people. And you're going to build an audience around you. And you're going to have a voice. And you're going to be a voice that can be telling a story of what's going on behind the scenes because we can't see it. That's something that will be valuable to me. You see what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like if I'm getting on Facebook, oh, he bought a new watch. Oh, he bought a new car. Oh, he got a new house. Oh, he went on vacation.
Back to the material.
No, you saved a life today. That's real.
Don't ask for the 1,000
priceless.
shares, though, right?
What's
Please,
that?
don't ask for the 1,000 shares, kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. I can't
not
stand
gonna-
people.
we're
that
not
are
gonna-
like that.
Can I get 1,000 shares?
Oh,
we're not.
that's so
we're
annoying.
not going to. We're not going to ask for anything like a chain of like
Yeah.
let's do a prayer chain. No, let's not do a prayer chain. Let's just be positive. Think positive.
That's what it's all about.
But share some experiences. I think it would help you mentally. It would also help your audience. It would also help yourself. But the thing is, when you build relationships down the road, people need to know who you are. And if you do something outside the box and something different, and I'm just making this up because I'm in marketing, you're marketing yourself, but you're also marketing your experiences, and you're authentic and you're real and write it from a heartfelt place. And if I read that on your Facebook page and I make a comment, and I'm going to turn around and I'm going to absorb it And I'm going to turn around and whoever I'm around, it's like, hey, man, my boy Derek, man, he's the real deal, bro. He's a champ. Like, whoever scored a touchdown at a football game is great. But people that score touchdowns don't save lives. That's the real shit. So share some experiences, you know, or you lost a guy today. Make it real. Tell the story. But I think when you're telling it, I think it will be therapeutic for you as well. Because it'll be able to let you share it. You're not keeping it in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
We hold a lot of stuff in as healthcare
We all do.
professionals. So.
Well, as men too.
Yeah. Well, men, yeah, definitely.
We're taught at early age that we have to keep all of our emotions in, you know? And one of my new sayings is, and I'm not trying to use too many cuss words, but fuck happiness. That's my new saying. I'm going to get t-shirts. It's fuck happiness. It's my new thing. Because I've caught myself for years. Man, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy, man. I just want to be happy. Like I'm looking for happiness. I just want to be happy. And I finally just dawned on me. I was listening to a few other podcasts. And I was listening to some other speakers. I'm not going to mention any names, but one inspired me. And he was just talking about happiness, right? And I was just sitting there going, that makes sense. And I go, all right, every morning when I wake up, I'm searching for motivation. What motivates me today? Who's going to challenge me in the gym? Garrett says, Mike, I know you did 50 push-ups yesterday, but I don't think you can do 60. Oh, no, I'm going to get there. I'm going to do 100 today, bro. You're wrong. So when I'm challenged, okay, or I'm motivated to be challenged, and then I hit my goal, guess what's laying next to hit goal? Happiness. So we're searching happiness, but we're forgetting the motivation, the goal, and the agenda. We're trying to skip a couple of steps. We're trying to leapfrog over here and find happiness. No. We need to set our alarm. We need to get up earlier. We need to set a goal, be motivated. And when you're motivated and you accomplish what you were motivated to do, happiness sits right there like a little golden nugget. Am I not wrong? Right?
Yeah.
You know, if I lose 5 pounds and I said, hey, I'm going to lose 5 pounds, I'm motivated, blah, 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 and I look in the mirror, I'm happy. Oh, shit, my pants fit. Oh, this is great. Right? Happiness.
Yep.
So it's the little wins. We're chasing the big wins, the big happiness. Oh, I want the big house. I want the big car. You know, I want my vacations. I want all the money in the world. And we paint this dream that we think at the time is unachievable. But if you take a little bite out of it every single day and get motivated every single day to be motivated to do more a little bit every day, in a couple of years down the road, there's your dream.
Yeah, it's all about the journey to the destination.
Little chips, man. Little chips, little goals. Derek, you're amazing. You're a badass. Very glad I met you. Garrett, welcome back from Venice. Looks like you got the sniffles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I apologize.
Allergies. Sudafed.
Yeah.
More whiskey helps.
Yeah.
So,
it did help my throat. I could tell you that right now.
Anyway, it was a podcast. Thanks for tuning in. This is Mike Burke, Real Talk, and my boy Derek. Appreciate your time.
All right, thanks.
I'm
honored.
My man.
Appreciate it.
See you guys. Take care.